Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 11th. It is 6:23 right now. We got market opening up in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, I'll get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium and we'll get started shortly. Let's do one last place. And we are good to go. So, all right, guys, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Eight hour. Not to go too far out. The stuff's not going to get hit. 15-minute, 10-minute, and back down to the 1 minute here. All right. Looks good. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 11th. It is 6:26 right now. We have market opening up in about 4 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. This lower level of liquidity is probably going to get hit, which it just did right now. Next level is going to be right here at the 41,963. One above that, 994, and a few more up here as well. Couple up here. Down below, we have next one down here at 41,657. This is basically at the session. So if price ever gets down to the session, it's probably going to get down to that point right there. Looking at the breakout for today, breakout's currently looking like a possible sell, but we'll know the actual direction in the next 2 minutes once we get to that 629 candle. Going over here to the SR chart, there's no lower support down here, so I'll go up to the 4 hour. I mean, price dumped pretty heavy yesterday, so there's not really many support levels to follow here. It dropped pretty heavy yesterday. Back over here to the 4 hour. And not so much. Went back down to the 1 minute. So price is currently in the daily support right now. I'll leave that right there. Taking a look at the overall direction of trend. Overall direction of trend here is bearish. As you guys can see, prices below the pivots on the 4-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute. It's also below the pivots on the 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling to the downside. So we have a bearish trend here across the board with regard to trend bias. Looking over here at the breakout is looking like a sell. Again, if this candle prior to entry is too large, typically you would go and flip it the other way. You don't have to flip it, but that's typically what we do if it does drop too heavily. All right, so breakout looks like it's going to be a sell for today. So if you guys are looking to take that entry, that's what you're going to be looking for. Here's a clean chart. Again, there's no targets for liquidity until way down here. So we got a ways to go. It looks like we are ready to kick off the session. So market opening up in about 20 seconds. Looking over here at the market profile in the 1-minute, I don't really see too much here. I don't see the liquidity lining up with any of the zones there, so not exactly any areas of bounce to look out for. Possibly right here for this liquidity. Price is coming down a bit. Rejection off the top right here on the 1-hour. And market is now open. So we got market kind of pushing up right here. I'm going to mark up the opening price. You know, the opening push has been very tricky lately. Because price will be coming down so heavily, it's like ready to bounce to the upside, of course. So price has been coming down for a while since like way up here. Retraced up slightly right here. Came back down right here. And I'll leave it at that. So it looks like the buyers might be trying to push price up from right here. I'm not looking to take anything yet, of course. The ATR is currently 23 right now, so it's not very high. It's not the usual ATR like 40, 50 around there. This is just normal, regular ATR. It's not the higher volatility type ATR. So obviously, I'm going to wait for some sort of confluences here for me to take any entries. Again, we would need a buy signal here before we can start looking for some sells anyways. So I'm going to be waiting for this here. Hey, Vat, good morning. Morning, Maria. Morning, Christian. Morning, Kyle. Morning, Karen. Morning, Lila. Morning, everybody. Yeah, Christian said, funny, the A++ hit before shooting up. Yeah, so there was an A++ setup right here, pre-market at 628. There's an engulfing candle. We had an MPSV2 setup right there, engulfing candle, another engulfing candle. And this here came down right before open, about 44 points, and then it shot right back up. Hey, Sam, morning. All right, so we got nothing here right now. I am just waiting for price here to come back down. There's no confluences here, no rejections off any of the market profile. We got market profile here on the 30-minute. Price isn't exactly rejecting off anything here. We did have a rejection off the value low right there, but the current candle, there's no rejections right now. Looking over here at the liquidity, there is a level right here. Some people consider this a gap, so there's a gap right there. Doesn't really line up with any of the market profile, so it's not one of the levels that I would personally be looking at. I think price may come up, retrace, bounce off the value low, and then maybe come back down lower. Possibility right there. That's kind of what I see happening. We do have the value low rejection up here, so wouldn't be surprised if it comes up, hits this value low, and then comes back down. But we'll see. We'll see. Like we said yesterday, if these liquidity zones, if they line up with the rejections on the market profile, odds of them bouncing are very likely. I'm glad that you guys brought this up the other day because I didn't really think to use that. I created this whole tool for that specific reason, but I didn't really look to use that. Makes it back action. It's just easier when it's on the bottom. Yeah, so you can see here, price is probably gonna blast through this liquidity zone. It didn't line up with any of the other market profiles, so it's not really anything that I'm specifically looking for. I do think it's probably just gonna blast through it, which here on the 1 minute price is pushing right through. All right, so price is below opening price right there. Looks like the buyers never really got in control. Price pushed it up slightly, and then the sellers shot it right back down. So we don't really have any entries here for any MPS V2s until we have a momentum signal that's that retraces the other way. So what I'm waiting for here is I'm looking for price to retrace up, provide a buy signal, then come back down. Basically like a head and shoulders pattern, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder, continuation to the downside. This is kind of what I'm
lost.
Connection lost here. Let me see what's up. Looks like it's one person's account that keeps disconnecting. I'll come back and take a look at that shortly. Hopefully it's just a one-time thing. All right, so there's no rejections here again, guys. 30-minute, no rejection here. Got close to the value low, but didn't actually reject off anything. Might have to wait till 7 o'clock to actually find some sort of confirmation of rejection, but nothing there yet. Christian said an Ninja Trader hears you and starts acting funny. Hey, what's up, Brock? Okay, perfect. Yeah, Brock said he's done for the day. So Brock made some profit here pre-market on NQ, and then he didn't want to mess it up, so he's going to be done for the day. All good, Brock. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. I mean, if you want to switch to a demo and trade, you can, but I don't know if you'll be able to manage. So probably better to just get off. I would agree with you too. I would be doing the same thing. If I had my win for the day or my 2 wins for the day, I probably would just take it easy. All right, so we have a rejection here off the value low in the 1 hour. It was also rejecting off the liquidity right here as well. Not a strong rejection, but rejection nonetheless. We just have a double confluence right there on the 1 hour time frame. We don't have anything on the 30. We don't have anything on the 1 minute, but we do have a rejection here on the 1 hour. Looking over here on the volume profile, no rejections right there. So price is kind of just on a free fall. Right here on the clean chart, we have a rejection right there off the whole number, the 900 price point. Let me see this over here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to set up this with a 5 minute time frame. Doesn't really line up with anything there. So we don't really have many confluences here. As you guys can see, price is kind of just bouncing back and forth right now. Yeah, we got price shooting right back up right here. It's pushing right back up to opening price. Like I said, guys, just be patient with your entries. I'm not forcing anything here. I don't see any confluences, so there's nothing for me to take. I'm kind of just waiting here, really. Price did break past the daily support level here. So it's basically a break and retest off the daily support. Possibly drop further to the next level right here. This is, again, another daily support. I mean, at this point, this might be a resistance. All right, so we got price kind of just sitting around this area. It's coming right back to open, which is fine. We do need that retracement, so I'm not really too worried about that. So we still don't have the buy signal. The buy signal is currently pending on this candle right here. It's pushing up to the opening price. This is going to be the target if it does push up higher. Okay, so looking over here at the market profile, we have rejection off the value low right here. I mean, it's been a while since it rejected off it, so I'd like to see a new rejection, but we do have a rejection off the value low right there. Here on the 30-minute, we now have a rejection off the value low as well. The rejection off the value low off market profile and value low off the volume. Still doesn't really line up with liquidity, so I mean, I don't have that double confluence that I was looking for, right? But the rejection right there is valid. Rejection off the value low, dotted line off market profile, and then also the volume right here. So sells are valid. I mean, I'm looking for sells here. I need to get that confirmation of retracement before I can start even looking for sells, which we just don't have yet. I'm obviously not going to look for buys here. So we don't have that confirmation of retracement signal. I'm basically, main thing I'm looking for right now, guys, is I'm looking for this buy signal to come up. Once that buy signal comes up, it'll confirm the retracement. Once it confirms the retracement, then I'll look for the continuation back to the downside. Right, so I'm looking for that buy signal will push price up. Then I'm looking for it to push it back down. And there we go. Another pending buy signal. We'll see if this one actually closes. I believe we have news today too. We have Joel's job openings at 7 o'clock. So I mean, we might have to wait for that news event to come out before we actually have anything here. Still no buy signal, like I said. We are pretty much waiting for that buy signal to come up. We got news right here at 7 o'clock.
Connection lost.
Connection lost. Let's see who disconnected this time. All right. Not looking good with these disconnects. So I had one hedge fund account disconnect earlier. Then I have all of my Tradeify accounts disconnect right now. See, hopefully the Ninja Trader gets better, it stops disconnecting. But if I continue to get these disconnects, then obviously not going to force any trades here. But it wouldn't matter because we don't have the buy signal here yet anyway. So I'll keep a lookout for my Ninja Trader, make sure it doesn't keep disconnecting. But again, we're going to look for this buy signal here. Once the buy signal closes, we can start looking for opportunity. But until then, there's just nothing here to take. The ATR is extremely high again. So the ATR here picked up again. It is, I'll put the buyers back right here. And the sellers back right here. So there's a lot of choppiness going on. Like you don't really want to trade when this is happening, right? Push price up, push price down, push price up, push price down. You want to have the smooth drops to the downside, which I mean it's dropping, but these candles are extremely huge. Look how big these candles are. You technically could have taken this engulfing. This could have been, I mean, a huge drop right here. See, the retracement happened about like 15 points, but it dropped about like 80 points. Same with this one over here. See, if your stop loss is wide enough and you can basically cover at least the entry candle, it's about 50 points right there. It's dropped about 100 points. There's opportunities there, but there's also opportunities to get burned. So I would just, be careful with your entries here if you are looking to take something. Yeah, Brock, yesterday I also traded wrongly on the sim. Phil might be practicing bad habits because my sim is psychology is on hold. Yeah, I agree with you too, Brock. Yeah, Brock said that yesterday he switched to sim to trade, but then it started messing with his psychology and it gave him bad habits because he wanted to switch back to his live account. So I agree with you, Brock. If that's the case, I would just not trade at all. For me personally, I wouldn't trade at all. But for others, they would still continue trading. Let's see, we got news coming up. Daniel said that was weird. I had a buy signal close green, then it disappeared. Yeah, I think it's because of the choppy volatility right now. And I think that's the case right now. It's just market's so choppy, so volatile that the buy signal will come up or a signal will show up and it'll disappear. But these candles are pretty big. I mean, if you want to trade these candles, you better have a pretty big stop loss. Each candle here is over 50 points. The 75-point candle right there, this green one. This red one right here, this is a 100-point candle. This one right before it, this red one, was a 65-point candle. One before that, 52-point candle. Every candle here is pretty big. I mean, ETR is extremely high right now. It's at 47. So I spoke too early when I market open. I said market's moving kind of normal today at the 25 ATR, and then all of a sudden these huge candles started coming out. So, again, guys, just be patient. Don't try to force anything here. Looks like price might go into consolidation and range until the news event over here. So we have a buy signal currently pending, and then we have news over here. It's JOLTS job openings. JOLTS job openings data is forecasted to be positive. So last month it was 7.6 mil. They're forecasting it to be 7.63 mil. So it means that there's more jobs available. I mean, we'll see if that's really the case. The jobs data was good last week, so assuming that becomes the case again today, it'll probably be positive as well. But looking at this now, it looks like price might just be consolidating here a little bit. So it looks like we are going into a range right here. Not much going on. Let's take a look at the market profile. So we got nothing going on down here. Profile. Big order just came in. Let me check. Big order at the 41,740 price point. Let's see where it's at. 41. A big sell order at the 41,740. So we got a big order that came in right here. I'm just trying to see and line it up with anything. If there's anything here that looks like, if this is an area of interest. I don't really see anything here. A big sell order came in right there. But whenever those big orders come in, I try to see if there's like any area of interest down there. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it's a whole number, sort of. Whole number, but not necessarily an important whole number. Yeah, it looks like it was like right here. So looking at the 30-minute time frame, this looks like an area of support. The big sell order came down right there because it looks like it's trying to close below the support level. Right. Trying to get past this area right here. Not very much luck. I don't think that was a pending order either. I think that was just, big push to try to get price below this area right here. So looking at this here, I think if price does end up, so I put that back on there. Well, so here's the thing. The candle closed below right here. I think this is going to be a level to look at because since that big sell order came down right there, if it ends up closing down there, I think another time. So it closed down here once, twice, third time. If it closes down here a fourth time, then I think price is going to drop further, possibly break and retest and come down to the sessions right here. So that's something that I'm possibly looking at right now. Trying to make sense of like why did someone put such a big sell order right there? It wasn't a huge sell order, but it was like there was quite a bit of orders right there. So looking at the total, there was about like maybe close to 100 orders in total there. There was a big order of 55 contracts, 10 contracts, 13 contracts, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, and then a couple smaller ones. But this is going to be something to pay attention to, this price point. Because it looks like that's going to be another area of retest at some point in the future. So I'll keep an eye on that level right there just in case if and when price does come back down. I'll see that line right there. That's around the 30-minute time frame. The levels down here. All right, so price is coming back up. Looks like we might finally get this buy signal over here. No. Looked like it was going to come up on this candle right here, but I guess not. Maybe this one. But you guys can see this range that I drew. Price is respecting it pretty nicely. So price is ranging right here. We'll probably range until the news event here at 7 o'clock for Jolt shop openings. Wouldn't really matter too much because even if we had some sort of opportunity for entry, there's no rejections off structure here. So it wouldn't really make a difference. We do have lower liquidity right here. So looking at the lower liquidity right here, price is having trouble getting past it. It pushed past it right here, but didn't actually close below it. The only problem here is that it doesn't line up with the market profile, so it's not really going to be too much use for me. I want the liquidity to line up with it. Looking at the volume profile, looks like price might come back and retest the value low over here. Looking at the clean chart, we have a bottom rejection right here. Looking at the SR chart, we have price pushing back up into the resistance level. I'm just looking at confluences right now because there's nothing for me to take here. So just looking for any possible confluences that may come up. We might have to wait till 7 o'clock, guys. So looking at this here, it's 6:50 right now. We have 10 minutes until 7 o'clock. There's going to be a couple of things here that I'm going to be looking for. So depending on how this candle right here closes, not exactly on the 1 minute, but on the 30 minute. So I'm looking at both the 30 minute and the 1 hour over here. If price ends up closing below this green line, what I'm going to be looking for is a further retracement to the upside, bounce off the value low, and continuation to the downside. Same with the 30 minute over here. In the next 10 minutes, if this closes below this green line, I'm going to look for it to push up, bounce off the value low, and come back down further. And then earlier, like I said, this big order came in right here at 740. I'll be looking for price to come back and possibly close below that point. If price does close below this level right here, then I'm expecting a further free fall. It also kind of depends on what the jobs data is going to release. So like I said earlier, if jobs data here is forecasted to be positive, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to move to the upside, right? The news can be positive and price can still come down very heavily. And you can see right here on the 30-minute chart, price is coming back to that number that I mentioned, 740. So again, pay attention to this level here. I think if price closes below that point, it's going to try to make it run to the downside. Because we do have targets right here. We have some pretty strong targets, actually. We have the New York low, and then we have the Asia low right here. 2 sessions right here for price to come down and test. So I think if price does make its way below this black line and it closes below there, might just retest this area and come back down here for target. But we just don't have much confluence here. But again, price is respecting my range right here. Respecting it perfectly. There we go. As price comes back below that black line. So now we're getting some nice upwards rejections, right? Rejection off the 30-minute, rejection off the 1 hour. Nothing here on the 1 minute, but we did have a rejection up here earlier. Price looks like it's attempting to break and close below the structure. The problem here is we still haven't gotten that buy signal, right? So the retracement hasn't been confirmed yet. We did get the break and close right here. Right? Another big order right there that just came in. Let me check the time and sales real quick. It's at 41,700 now. Another big sell order right here. I'm just keeping track of these big orders. right, so we're getting a bunch of big orders down here, like I said. So we had a lot of nice top rejections too. Rejection right there, rejection right there off the 1 hour, rejection right there off the 30-minute, rejection right there off the 1 minute. There's just no opportunities here for entry, unfortunately. I mean, price is kind of coming down where I mentioned. So I said if price breaks and closes below this black line, like price is probably gonna push down to the sessions down here, which that's kind of where it's going. The thing is, we didn't have any opportunities for entry here. We did get the rejection off here, but we didn't have any confirmations of, reversals. We didn't have any engulfing. We didn't have any V1 variations. If we had one of those, I probably would have rode this down further with it. The ATR is extremely high right now. Look at the ATR, it's currently at 50. You want to be careful because looking at these candles right now, these candles are they're small compared to everything else, right? It's a 27-point candle. This is a 30-point candle or a 28-point candle. So if this is like that low like that, you want to be careful because there's going to be a breakout that's going to happen after, right? If these candles are this big, or if the ATR is that high and these candles are that small, possible breakout to happen soon. Again, if price breaks and closes below this whole number right here, the 700, I think this is going to push down further and reach the sessions right here. Price is respecting the zone, but again, if it closes below, we'll see what happens. We got news coming up in about 5 minutes. This could be pre-news movement, so also something to look out for. I typically try to avoid trades, 10 minutes before and after news. There we go. Price is going down, hit that target. So it's going down to hit the sessions right here. Still hasn't closed, but see what happens here. Yeah, see that? It didn't close below it. It got really, really close, and at the last second, it came right above that black line. This price point is important. These are two important price points, the 740 and the 700, because that's where the big orders came in from. So the sellers are trying to close price below it. And I'm not talking about retail traders. These are like 100 contracts, so it's a lot of contracts, like over 100 contracts. There's obviously a big player trying to push price around. The Christian said, I think they're trapping people before news because that is a relevant zone. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So Christian over here said that this is a relevant 30-minute and 1 hour zone for him, which makes sense. Again, I think price is trying to hit the sessions down here. It's trying to grab liquidity at the sessions, but we do have news coming up in about 3 minutes. Yeah, CJ said, Sean said over 100 contracts being sold, and I immediately perked up. Yeah, so over here, there was about 100 contracts that were sold at the 740. It came in a couple bunches. It was like a cluster of like 50 contracts, and then 30, 20, etc. And then right here, this was like 77 contracts, and then it followed through as well. So like I said, I'm trying to use all of the tools that I have to my advantage, guys. I'm not necessarily giving you guys some like random analysis. I'm looking at the time and sales here to see, what and there we go. Price came down to the session just like I said it would, right? So the good thing here, I didn't take these trades, but the good thing is that the analysis played out. I saw big orders come in right here, and I was like, okay, if price comes back down, because it came down, the orders came in, retraced, and then it came back down. When it came down right here, I said, if it closes below this black line, look for it to push down past the range. And then another big set of orders came in right here, and I was like, okay, price is going to retrace up. If it closes below here, expect this to drop further. So now that we have this information in mind, we can probably use this to our advantage in the future, right? We don't have to use it right now, but in the future, I'm going to pay attention to the time and sales when these big orders come in, and I'm going to mark them up on the chart so that I can see, where's price trying to get past. And, like I said in the past, guys, like I'm doing this all so that we can identify, the probabilities. Man, I'm trying to fix my chart over here. Forgot how I changed this. I don't care about time. Okay, perfect. How many sales thing is like trying to adjust my chart over because I don't want it too big. Big order right here again at the for a sell at the 650. This is the news candle right here, so obviously. So at the 650 price point, we got about 69 contracts that came in. Let me check the jobs data. Jobs data was positive, but still it came down pretty heavy from here. Looks like a manipulated push right there. So it came down and then it shot right back up. So the data was positive. I'm gonna take these price points off because we already used those. The next big sell order came in at the 650 right here. So I'm just gonna leave this right there. But look at this huge candle from the JOLTS job openings data. Okay, perfect. So this is what we wanted. We wanted the market to get shaken up a little bit. You can see our price pulled right back into the range. Basically trapped the sellers right here at the sessions and it shot right back up. Another huge order right there, 50 contracts at the 41,800 for a buy. Mark this up right here too. All right, huge order right there for a buy. So what I'm going to look for another huge order, 100 contracts at 840. So there's obviously some big players right here. They're trying to push price right back up. They're chasing the news. Yeah, because the news there was, and these aren't stops getting filled. I know some people in the chat sometimes say, oh, those could be stops getting filled. There's nobody getting stopped out for 100 contracts, bro. That's a lot of contracts. These are, it's nuts. Like maybe in cluster orders getting stopped out, but not like a huge 100 contract order getting filled. It looks like, people are trying to chase the news right there. This is both positive. So JOLTS job openings was positive. It was forecasted to be 7.63. It was actually 7.74, way better than expected. And same with job quits. Job quits were forecasted to be 3.21. It was actually 3.266. So looking at that right there, here we go. As price comes right back down. Again, like I said earlier, this price point right here, this black line, is going to be a key area to look at. Because if price closes below there, I think it's going to keep dropping. I mean, this is too crazy right now. These candles are huge. This is a 127-point candle. This green one right here is a 200-point candle. Yeah, it's nuts. I would yeah, I would wait. I would wait to see the ATR right now. This is the highest I've seen yet in a long. I don't think I've ever seen any ATR this high before. Like even during COVID. Actually, no, I take that back. COVID's different because we had like those big spikes that like there'd be like a couple candles that were like 1,000 points, but in a regular market, it's pretty high. 66, 63 ATR, guys. That's pretty nuts. Another huge sell contract right there at 41,600. Okay, so like I said earlier, guys, I said look at these levels right here. I'm basically just marking up the price points where all the big contracts are coming in. So I don't really care about well, I'll leave the buys up here for now, but we did have a bunch of sell contracts right here came in at 650 and then at 600. You can see they're getting in at these whole numbers for the most part. So I'm just watching this here. Again, I want to see some sort of retracement and then continuation, but looks like it broke and retest off that price point right there, directly off the 600 where the big orders came in from. I mean, this is crazy. Look how much this is dropping. And the thing is, like, the news is positive. So obviously there's a lot of manipulation happening right here. It's manipulation based off the news. Let's see, Drew said 41,840 heavy resistance area. Yeah, that's where the big contracts came in. So like a big order of 100 contracts came in at 840 right there. That's why the black line. So looking at that right there, I mean, it also lines up with the daily resistance right here that I have as well. It's currently the daily support. I mean, it wouldn't matter to me too much because I'm not taking any scalps within this area, but that is a huge area right there of rejection. Let me check over here on the. This is one thing too that I would like to see. Well, it's too late now. Price already broke past it. All right, so looking over here on the 1 hour, huge rejection right there. We have a lot of rejection points at this point now. We have rejection off the value low here, off both market profile and volume. 30-minute right here. Rejection off the value low as well. I'm gonna clean this up here. It's not really relevant anymore on these higher time frames. Yeah, so what I would like to see here is a possible fake out, push back to the upside and then possibly come back down. Here we open my time and sales. Wow. Time and sales are kind of screwed up now because I closed it on accident. I'll just refix this another time. Yeah, I closed my time and sales and now it's all like it's all like crappy now. Yeah, because I had all my colors here set up and I accidentally closed it. But it's fine. I can still kind of tell what I'm looking at. All right, so we have price coming down right here. There's no entries for us to take right now. So let me see. I'll have the buyers back in control from, I guess I can mark the choppiness here. Buyers push price up right there. Sellers push price back down right there. Buyers push price back up right here. And the sellers push price back down right here. So with that said, we had, I mean, you can see here the messiness and the movement. What's relevant right now is really going to be this area here because the sellers are back in control. This is an MPSV2 setting up right here, but I'm probably going to sit out on this, guys. It's just a little too, the volatility is really high on this point. Yeah, the ATR is way too high, 67 ATR. I'm not really gonna mess with anything here. These candles are, it's gonna be really easy for you to get stopped out at this point. Let's see, Shabam said Trump threatened Canada again regarding higher tariffs on Canada. I can see that. I can see that. So yeah, I wouldn't take any trades here right now. I'm gonna hold off on these right here. I'm gonna fix my setup in a little bit. I just don't wanna take my eyes off the chart right now. The ATR is just really, really high. It's 65 ATR. So the thing is, if your stop loss is at 30 points, like we usually use, it's going to be really easy to get stopped out here. So I'm not really messing with anything here at the moment. I'm going to wait here for the market to kind of stabilize a little bit. Like obviously this crazy movement off the news caused these like 100-point candles. This candle right here is about a 70-point candle. Again, I'm just going to wait. There's no, there's no need to force anything here. Like I said in the past, when the market's moving kind of crazy like this, it's better to sit back, just kind of sit back and watch. The volatility will come back down. It's not going to stay at like 60, 70-point candles for the whole session. It's still kind of early to 7:10 right now. Let's check CNBC real quick if they released anything. Yeah, so there goes what Shabam just mentioned. Trump raises Canadian steel, aluminum tariffs to 50% in retaliation for Ontario energy duties. Southwest is going to charge for bags now. What? That's crazy. Yeah, for you guys here who are in California, Southwest is known for cheap flights and free bag fees. That's crazy. Now that if they're going to start charging for bags now, I think they're going to lose more money. People would just end up flying with. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's only for check bags, but I mean, still, they've been known. I mean, as it said right here, it's been like half a century of flying with no check bag fees. Sucks. I usually fly with Southwest when I take the closer flights. Let's see. Any more news right here? Dow extends losses, falls 350 points as Trump. Yeah, same thing that we just talked about. Trump hits Canada with more tariffs. I think that's the only news event that really came out so far. No update in the past 12 minutes. I mean, obviously, it's just a bunch of fear in the market. It like makes me second think if I should like sell off my stocks or not, but I'm probably just gonna hold on to them. My investment accounts are definitely taking a hit. Fuck. Yeah, my accounts are taking a pretty big hit. Every day it's dropping like a pretty big amount. But it's in total though. It's not like yeah, it's not like just one stock. So the market here looks like it's starting to kind of stabilize a little bit. Not very much, but stabilizing just a little bit. Yeah, Daniel said money grab for sure. I'd rather fly Delta if they're going to charge for bags. Yeah, exactly. I never really fly Delta because I don't need to, since I usually fly like areas that have Southwest or like JetBlue and stuff like that, or United. When if I go to the East Coast, I'm usually on United. But I flew Delta when I went to DR, and I was like, man, this is way different. I could understand why people like flying Delta. Um, yeah, I mean, it's obviously a money grab, just like Daniel said. A lot of people like to travel like with their. I feel like with Southwest, people travel with a lot of their gear, right? Like snowboard gear, golf gear, stuff like that. Because it's like free check bag. Like, why not take your golf clubs? Um, yeah, it's kind of fucked. They're probably gonna charge like 30, $60 like everyone else. At that point, you might as well fly with a better airline. Yeah, no, I agree with you too, Drew. Yeah, Drew said it'll come back up, Sean. Long plays for a reason. Yeah, for all my whole IRA account, I just buy stocks that are blue chips. I basically buy them every year and I just max out my IRA or my whatever investment accounts I have, and I just hold on to them. I collect dividends on them and I don't really touch them. So eventually, they're gonna come back up. Just gotta take a beating, take the beating while it continues to drop here. Again, guys, there's no entries here right now for the moment. Looking at this, there was an NPSV2 that came up, but again, like we talked about earlier, these candles here were too huge. So I wouldn't have taken this NPSV2 here. Obviously, it looks like it would have stopped out before it came back down. Went up about 60 points. If you base your stop loss off the ATR, then it'll probably, you can survive any drawdown. But if you don't and you're using a tight stop loss, you're probably gonna get stopped out because it looks like the market here is obviously shaking people out. If your stop loss isn't wide enough, you're gonna get shaken down in this position. There's so I have this range here marked up. This looks like a repeat of yesterday's market. If you guys remember, this is kind of what we dealt with yesterday, right? We went from a pretty big drop, consolidation range, came down further, consolidation range. Price just keeps bouncing from like I mean, it goes from range and then it breaks down to another range and it kind of just stays in this range for a while. 716 right now, so we actually have a pretty decent amount of time. It's yeah, there's not really too much here to work with. I mean, even with this ATR super high, I was hoping this would drop down to at least like maybe 40 ATR. I think the ATR is still very high, it's at 56. If you guys are not familiar with the ATR identifies what the average true range is. So like basically the average of the past X amount of candles, depending on what you set it to. I think I have my ATR set to 14. So yeah, so the last 14 candles, the average of the 14 candles is 55 points, which is pretty big. You think about it, 55 points is pretty large. That's the average size of the candle. Yeah, this thing is still dropping. Teresa about to open another Roth at this discount price. Yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea, right? This is probably a good idea to open more investment accounts and just buy stuff at the dip because this is going to recover. I mean, if you look over here on let's look on like the daily chart. It's got a ways to come down, but if you compare this to like say like this thing's been dropping for a while. If you compare this to something like say COVID, there's a threshold where the circuit breakers will come into play and then it'll just stop price from dumping. Um, but I mean, yeah, if you wanted to go really far back, like say COVID was like in 20, you can kind of just like measure it to see how far it dropped. So this is COVID right here, March 2020. The farthest it drops is probably like 11,000 points, right? I mean, a lot of people will be shaken out by then, but at 11,000 points, that's like the most we've ever seen the dump from within a short period of time. See, like right here, it dumped up to 8,000 points. We're not even there yet. We're not close to it. But here, let's see. I'll measure from here. We're barely at like 3,000 point mark. So maybe it's not the best time to buy the dip, but If it gets to that 5,000, 8,000 threshold, then at that point, it's like, all right, price is probably going to recover from here. Recover to some extent, of course. And there's still nothing here right now. Okay, so we have the rejection again, still off the 1 hour, the value low, rejection off the 30-minute value low. There's nothing really happening on the 1 minute because there's just nothing here to work with. I mean, price has been a free fall for a while. We got price here faking out. So I actually like when the market does this. So see how price here is kind of faking out a little bit? Preferably, I would like to see the fake outs because you can see over here, last time it faked out, it pushed up, and then it came back down. Same with this over here, it's probably going to repeat the thing, the same process. Goes back and forth, fakes out right here. Might pull up for a little bit to trap some buyers and then come right back down. Shabam's asking, Sean, what's your thoughts on Tesla stock as a company? Personally, I think Tesla stock is going to continue to drop. I know a lot of people are saying to buy the dip. Obviously, if you want to average, if you're trying to average into Tesla, it'd be a good time to like start averaging in. But I think it's going to continue to drop lower. I think with everything that's happening, like you said, minus Elon, I think it's still going to carry over to Tesla. Because the thing is, the price of the Teslas they keep going lower and lower. And then on top of that, they're starting to, well, they don't have a release for it yet, but they're going to release like an economy version of a Tesla. So, like before Tesla used to be considered, like a luxury car. Like when I had my Tesla Model X, that was like when nobody had a Tesla Model X. It was like the cool car. It was expensive. People couldn't afford it. Now, like everything's so cheap that like everyone has a Tesla. Like I live here in Orange County. If you guys know where Orange County is in California, specifically Irvine, this is like Tesla Central. It's crazy. There's so many Teslas on the road. Like literally everybody here has a Tesla. Um, and it's nuts. Yeah, they're not really luxury brand. They're more of I would say an economic electric car. Because before, like a lot of these cheaper electric cars would come out, like the Nissan Leaf and stuff like that. But the Teslas are cheaper than those what we would consider like a cheap electric car now. Like Hyundais and Volkswagen and stuff like that. Those were considered cheap cars, compared to Tesla. Now Tesla's like, oh, you can buy a Model 3 for like 20,000. Everyone buys one. Yeah, exactly. Shubham said, yeah, it's a good point actually, regarding luxury brand statement. Yeah, and like a lot of for these shares to really go up like that, it's like you either need to be I mean like you can compare like Toyota to like Tesla, right? Like Toyota's a really like well-built car and it's cheap and it's convenient and it has good stock value. But it's not like you can't compare it to like Mercedes or like BMW and stuff like that. Like a Porsche stock, right? If you compare like the higher end brands compared to the smaller brands, they go off volume versus no, not really, I wouldn't say quality, but just like the way that they're worth. Like say for example, if Tesla was to finally release the Roadster, I think the value would go up. So if Tesla was to release something crazy, like the Cybertruck came out, stocks went skyrocket. If they release the Roadster, then yeah, but they're not really aiming towards those higher end cars anymore. They're aiming towards cheaper cars. Yeah, exactly. Like Drew said, they're good for commuter cars. Yeah, exactly. Like for me, if I needed to drive like 100 miles a day, that would be my beater car. I would just I'd get a Tesla Model 3 or a Tesla Model Y or whatever, and then just drive that to work every day. Um, so in that sense, yeah, for like driving efficiency and stuff like that, I obviously for sure I go with the Tesla, but uh value wise, stock value wise, I don't know. I think it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky because like with everything that Elon's doing, I mean you saw it here on CNBC, right? Like people are boycotting Tesla. I think that's what it said right here. Yeah, Trump calls boycotting Tesla boycott illegal. But it is weird because like, Trump is against EV vehicles, but Elon is kind of Elon's basically his VP. It's funny if you guys have seen that. I haven't seen Vance or JD Vance with Trump ever. I see Elon with Trump everywhere. Um, I mean, Elon is basically the VP right now, if not like the actual president, and Trump is the VP. It's crazy. All right, guys, going back to our analysis here, I know we went off topic for a little bit. We currently have a sell signal right here, so we have a possible opportunity for an MPS V2. The ATR is still pretty high, but I'm going to go through and look for some confluences. So there's no confluences here on the 1 minute. We have one confluence here on the 30 minute. It's not a great confluence, but confluence nonetheless. Right there, rejection off the value low. We also have rejection off the value low right here on the 1 hour. There's nothing on the volume profile. We have one rejection here off the whole number, off the 600 price point. There's no other confluences on top of that. And then we have price right here trying to break past the support level. This is going to be tricky because, taking sells right here, you're at the support level. This could be an easy fake out and swing back up. I don't know if I feel comfortable taking an MPS V2 here, at least not yet. I'll see how the market continues to move. If we get these like super flat candles, probably not going to take it because I don't want to take a flat movement here when the ATR is currently at 50. So I'll follow it for you guys right here, but this will have to be like a game time decision, like right when the candle closes. We got this right here. We're looking for this to close with the green candle. Once it closes with the green candle, then I will look for that MPS V2 to set up. So here's the problem. Let me set up the TP stop loss. Look how tight this TP stop loss is. It's gonna be a little tight. But again, looking at the confluences here. Why this thing keeps deleting? Oh, okay, I see. It's because these charts are all linked together. Doing that. So we only have like the direction, the rejections and confluences here are really just off the market profile, guys. We have rejection here off the 1 hour, 30 minute, and 1 minute. And then we have one rejection right here off the whole number. And then we have a rejection here off the support level. So this is starting to set up for an MPS V2. ETR is at 51. All right, there's a possible MPS V2 setting up right here, guys. I just don't like how these candles are currently moving. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hold off on this one, guys. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. I just kind of don't like the price action right here. Like this doji candle. And how this candle keeps bouncing back and forth. So I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm gonna sit out on this one. I especially don't like how these two are moving right here, the price action. All right, so here goes the MPS V2 currently running in profit. Again, like I said, I don't like the price action here. I don't really like when there's a doji right before it because this is it's a indecisive candle. When you see something like this, it'll mean one of two things, either reversal or push to the downside for continuation. And I don't like when I don't know what's going to happen next. Like if this was a strong green candle and then a strong red candle, then okay, cool, because I see the direction of push. But right here, I don't like how this happened, how this comes up, and then how this candle here is closing, kind of bouncing back and forth. Nice. Sam got it right there, and he got out. Quick prof right there. Looks like the 20 points hit. If you guys went for the 20 points, it hit, and then it's pretty much bounced right back up from there. Yeah, Drew said he still drives his Benz, feels denser and feels safer than my Tesla. Yeah, no, same here. I was thinking about getting another Tesla, but I don't know. If I can get it for super, super cheap, then I'll probably get another Model X. Because it's like a perfect car for kids, right? Because the doors go up, easy to get in and out. And I'm glad I didn't take the position here. I think this would have stressed me out, even because I would have gone for the 30 points because the ATR is so high. But if you guys went for the 20, it looks like it already hit your TP. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't take this position here. Even though it did hit for 20, I think this would have stressed me out if it would have pulled back like this. Because like I said yesterday, and I've been saying, for these past couple of weeks, typically these entries over here, they don't retrace at all. Like these entries right here, they'll typically like go straight to their TP, which it did. It went for 20 points, but the 30 points didn't get hit. Looks like Sam over here caught 25. So that's nice. He got exactly to like that point right there before it swung up. Not to say that this isn't going to come down and hit, but whenever it goes back into retracement like this, and there you go. So yeah, the 30 points didn't hit, but the 20 and 25 points hit right there. And this is what I was worried about, right? Whenever you guys see the ATR is super high, so the ATR is like 50 points and these candles here are super small, there's going to be a breakout that's going to happen after it. Like it's just a matter of time until price breaks out. And the thing with this breakout is that you don't know if it's going to break out in your direction or if it's going to break out against you. And that's why I didn't like this candle right here. These are just basic price action things to look out for, right? If you see a candle like this is considered an indecisive candle. And when you see something like that, it's going to break out either way. It's going to go slow for a little bit, and then eventually it's going to break out to the upside, or it's going to break out to the downside. When you take a trade like this, you kind of put yourself at risk because you're like at a 50-50 disadvantage, right? You don't want to have a 50-50 probability. You want to have something higher. And yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable with that position there. But for you guys who took it, nice work. I didn't take it, so I'm not counting the position there, of course. I'm just playing it safe. Playing it safe. We have a break and retest right there off the zone. Let me scroll up real quick. Kyle said white Tesla takeover, man. I know. So many here. Yeah, Shabam said it's weird because Trump is against EV, so it's like him supporting Trump indirectly screws his biggest moneymaker. Yeah, exactly. It really does. I feel like the thing with Elon, guys, is I feel like he's so rich that he doesn't care, right? He doesn't care if his companies start to tank. I think what he really wants is he just really wants to have because he's really big on conspiracy theories, right? So like now that he's in a power of control, he's able to really follow through with these conspiracy theories, which I think is really dangerous. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have one friend or another that is really big on conspiracy theories. And if that person had control to like actually be actionable with his conspiracy theories, it would just be nuts. And that's kind of what's happening with Elon here. He's really big on conspiracy theories, and he's really going after like the Department of Education, the Social Security, all this stuff. I agree with him too. I think there's fraudulent activity happening in government, but he's really, really taking it head on, and I think it's crazy. I mean, it is what it is. We got to deal with it, right? We voted Trump into House, so we gotta live in the circus for like the next couple of years, and then we'll kind of see what happens out of it. I mean, who knows? Maybe something good may come out of this, but yeah, I don't know. The agenda is just his agenda is all over the place. I feel like last month he was really big on immigration. Now he's really big on tariffs. Now he's next. I don't know what's gonna happen next. It's just gonna get crazier and crazier, I feel like, as we progress with this year. Yeah, Sanderson safe is good, Sean. At the end, you were profitable and your patience is paying off. No FOMO, bro. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Sam. I mean, I'm glad you guys are profiting, especially you, Sam, because you're catching a lot of these nice quick moves. I'm glad you guys are profiting. For me, I'm pretty happy with my profits so far. If you guys have seen my stats for the month and for the year so far, so yeah. So let's see. We'll put my portfolio to this year so far, so year to date, right? So here are my profits for March. I'm currently at 90,000, so I'm not really in the need to force any trades right now. I can kind of just chill for a day if I need to. Looking over here in February, I'm up 81,255. Over here in January, I'm up 73,155. So I have green days and I have red days, but for the most part, if I could minimize my red days, like you can see over here in February, right? I could have had some red days here, but instead I just didn't trade and did pretty good. 81,255 in February. For this month, I'm barely in week 2 and I'm doing pretty good. We've been on a pretty nice win streak all last week except for Wednesday and then today. If I don't have a trade today, it's fine. Take one tomorrow, next day, day after that. So yeah, pretty good. I mean, for the year so far, you can see over here, I'm currently up 244,780. That's from January 1st until March 11th today. My profit factor is 2.2. My win ratio is about 74%. So I've got 74% 0.17 win ratio. My profit overall is 484,000. My losers overall is 239,000. So I think it's pretty good. Overall, doing pretty solid for the year so far. And just gonna stick to it. Again, there's no entries here, so gonna keep waiting for this entry to come up, but I'm not gonna force it if it's not necessary. Yeah, Jonathan said that MPS V2 has definitely increased the win rate. Yeah, because with the breakout that we were taking before, the win rate was closer to we'll say 60, maybe lower than that, 50 something. But with the MPS V2, win rate's kind of climbing back up. Typically, we're used to an 80 to 90% win rate, but obviously right now, we're crawling our way back with the MPS V2 at the moment. So we're gonna build up to it. Just a matter of time. Yeah, Drew said, LOL, conspiracy theorists can be very good and very bad convo to have friendship breaking. Oh, I know, Drew. You already know, bro. We have a pretty good amount of conspiracy theorist friends that, you have them smoke a little bit, have them drink a little bit, conversation gets a little crazy. Because conspiracy theorists, they kind of see things in one lens, right? Which is fine. I mean, that's kind of how it is. Like, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you got to be about it. You can't be halfway in, halfway out. But yeah, for me, I try to avoid conspiracy theorists 100%. Because like Drew said, it's friendship breaking. Yeah, Sam said, trust me, I'm not taking any random trades. Expecting NQ to fall 200 points. YM is behaving like NQ, so a bit of a sell-off on YM expecting. Yeah, same here. Preferably, I'd rather take a sell than a buy, of course. But for me, I would need those confluences, right? These 1 minute confluences, they're just not there. There's no confluences here on the 1 minute. I mean, there's one rejection here off the 30 minute, but it's a little heavy right now. Volume profile, nothing there. Clean chart, we have one rejection right here off the whole number, so it's rejecting off the 500. Daniel said we have a possible triple confluence coming right here. See, this is what I hate. I like when the triple confluence comes up, but I hate when it's flickering. Yeah, like that right there. If this was a full-on red candle, perfect, but it's flickering right here. So, and there you go. Very last second, Daniel closed. And I mean, this would be really hard to catch unless you for sure were set on taking this as a triple confluence. I think it's kind of tricky. How big is this candle? It's big, but it's not extremely large. It's about 40 points. So triple confluence right there came up. About to get down to its 30 points right there. I think 30-30 is probably a good TP stop loss for now, unless you want to go for that 25-25. I think 25-25 is more ideal. because the volatility here is not very consistent. You have like these really flat candles, and then you have this really big candle. 25 points hit right there. See what happens next. And the market today is it's been kind of all over the place with regard to volatility. I mean, it's been bearish pretty much all day. Market opened right here at 6:30. Price pretty much tumbled down a little bit, consolidated. So it looks, if you look at this from a clean chart, it looks like price has been dropping, but I mean, realistically, it's been kind of going sideways. It's been dropping, but also going sideways for the most part, right? So there you go, 30 points did get hit right there. Again, this is one of those types of entries that would give me would stress me out because it doesn't go down right away. It goes down like maybe 25 points, but the full 30 points, it takes a while for it to actually come down. But yeah, looking over here. So market opened up at 6:30. Price obviously has been bearish, but if you look at it from a different lens here with the structure that I drew up, it kind of like it's been in a staircase drop. So it came down a little bit, consolidated right here, ranged, came down a little bit, consolidated, ranged, came down a little bit, consolidated, range, and came back down further. So nice call right there, Daniel, on that triple confluence. If you guys are just joining in, there's only 2 entries that really came up today. There's an MPSV2 that came up right here, hit 25 points, and then a triple confluence right here that came up for 30 points. Both pretty decent, good entries. I don't know, I just didn't feel really comfortable taking this triple confluence here because it didn't close how I would have wanted it to. This sell signal was flickering for a bit. There's a possible setup for an MPSV2 coming up next. The thing that I do like here is that the ATR is starting to drop a bit, so starting to feel a little more comfortable with the current market volatility. The only downside here is that we don't have any confluences. So, I mean, this is going to be one of the biggest factors for me, right? There's no market profile confluence here. There's one rejection right here off the value low, but that's happened a long time ago. I was kind of waiting for this 3-minute here to adjust, but it's not really adjusting. So there's no zones down here for me to look at. The 1 hour over here as well. This is probably this is going to close in the next 20 minutes. Nothing here from volume profile is too far from the value low. And then looking at the clean chart area here, we do have a rejection off the whole number, which is the 450 price point. But again, I don't think this is enough. These aren't enough confluences for me to want to take a trade specifically. So there's nothing on the 1 minute, there's nothing on the 30-minute, there's a rejection here off the 1 hour, but this rejection happened a long time ago. There's nothing on volume profile. There's a rejection right here off the clean chart at the 450 price point. And then there's nothing here on the support resistance. So I just don't have my confluences there. So it's going to be really tough for me to take any entries here. If you guys are looking to take something, I will mark it up for you guys. There's a possible green candle right here. So if this green candle here closes, and then it comes back down, that's going to be an entry for a MPSV2. Yeah, Sam said exactly 200 points fell in NQ, not selling until it retraces a bit. Yeah, because this thing's been dropping for a while, so I think the retracement would be necessary. Let's see, Rashida says, Sean, the new strat is have CNN up, and when Trump says tariffs, hit sell. I agree with you 100%. I know it's funny, but it's true. You know, you hear Trump say anything about tariffs or anything bad, really, it's going to dump price. Like that's typically what happens. I'm gonna have to set up a new TV in my new office. I'll be moving to my new home next month, guys. So you'll see a new office set up for me. I don't know where I'm gonna set everything up yet, but yeah, I think that's gonna be when I probably have to set up a TV sheet in front of me with just Trump just with CNN. I'm gonna have like a huge TV with just CNN, CNBC, Bloomberg, Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, like pretty much all the news outlets just like on and running. And if I see anything about Trump, I might just have to take some sells. I was thinking about that actually. I was like, I should open up like another account with like say like some like bootleg forex broker, right? That has like no margin requirements and stuff. And then just kind of YOLO, because I mean realistically you can make it like for example right here, guys, if I had like a forex account or whatever account and I just put like maybe $1,000 in there and I just took like maybe a couple lot sizes and then just let that thing run like for the whole day, that'd be like a huge drop right there. Yeah, exactly. She just said she did that. She made 3K this morning. I believe it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are making a killing just selling and holding on to those positions without having those margin requirements here for futures. So yeah, that might be on my radar. It's a little fun game to play. Daniel said, "You finally buy a house?" So we're looking at a couple of houses. The thing with the market here in Irvine is that it's really tough. Like if you guys have been here in Irvine, the good houses that are decently priced, they get chewed up by like the Chinese investors. Like it's just how it is out here in Orange County. We have so many rich Chinese people here, and that's not derogatory. Like they're rich. They're all cash buyers. And I know them. I know a lot of them because my realtor and my other realtors, they sell houses to them. So here in Irvine, in order for you to like buy a house, you need to have like a lot of cash just kind of sitting there. So we are looking to buy, but if we don't buy, we're looking at lease to buy. So we're looking for a landlord that's willing to like lease their home for like a year or two, and then we're gonna negotiate financing or like purchase after. So it's cool because then I get to pay like a partial of rent to live in like a $2-3 million house here. Because all the houses here where I live, like I mean, it's a minimum of like 2-3 million where I'm looking. So it's tough to like. I don't have cash to just dump into a house like that, to be honest. Like I make pretty good money from trading, but you gotta have money aside for like business stuff. I got a baby on the way. There's just like I'm more conservative with my money now, especially like you can see here with my trading, right? If you guys traded with me in the past, I used to be a lot more riskier with my trades, but I've been like a lot more conservative over the past 2 years because I just don't want to. I don't want to lose money anymore from trading. So I'm looking for like these home run hits, and I'm looking to take those trades when I can. But yeah, we're still looking. I mean, we've been looking at houses like pretty much every day for the past couple of weeks, trying to find something. But it's either I move out of Irvine and go somewhere that's like not as saturated, or not. I wouldn't say saturated, but that's like not as much in demand, or I kind of just work with what I got here. Thanks, CJ. Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks, guys. Yeah, baby's gonna be due in July, so I need to move out of this high-rise apartment and move into a home pretty soon. Yeah, thanks, Jason. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I'm excited. It's coming quick. I feel like I just found out, and now it's like baby's gonna be due in March, June, July. Yeah, in 2 months. Or March, not 2 months. March, April, May, June, July. 4 months. Still pretty quick. So guys, back at the charts, I know we're looking at entries here, but there's nothing that's come up. So we had a sell signal come up here, no buy signal yet. So in order for us to have another NPSV2, we need to get a buy signal to push price up, climb up higher, and then vice versa in the other direction, sell side. But there's nothing here right now. You can see prices consolidating sideways. Probably draw a range right here. I mean, as you guys can see, there's not really much to work with here. So you guys are not missing out on anything if you're looking to squeeze an entry in. I think this is probably the best time to understand when not to trade. This price is just going sideways here. Thanks, Patricia. Thanks, Shabam and Lila. Yeah, definitely. Daniel said, come join me in Vegas. For a while I was looking for homes in Vegas, but I just can't deal with the heat. Can't deal with the heat, and I can't deal with the cold. It's crazy because like I mean I've seen a lot of traders who've moved out to Vegas because I've seen there's like one really well-known forex guru that used to live like around me here, and he lived in like a pretty nice house out here, and he now he moved to Vegas, and I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to give him any credit, but he lives like in a crazy mansion out in Vegas, for the same price, if not cheaper, what he was paying here. And the houses in Vegas are nice. It's just I do a lot of outdoors things, and I wouldn't be able to deal with the heat or the cold. All right, guys, I don't really see much happening here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It's currently 7:49 right now. We have about 11 minutes till 8 o'clock. I was really hoping to squeeze a trade in here, but again, like I said, I don't need to force anything. You guys don't need to force anything either. You guys got to think of trading from a long-term perspective, right? Like looking at my profits over here, I don't want to have a red day here. I think now that I've been showing you guys my stats every month, like I've been showing you guys the whole calendar, like looking at the calendar here, what I'm trying to minimize are these red blocks, right? I don't want to have any red days here. Like sure, I'll have red days here and there, but I mean March has been pretty good to us. We've had 5 winning days and then one losing day right here. This losing day could have been avoided as well. Like if you guys remember this day on Wednesday, I took this trade like more of a FOMO trade. This trade was like what happened right here. See how this huge red candle came up? I took the trade that was after news. So like that day could have been easily avoided. And that's just me understanding, like, don't fall into trades, don't overtrade, don't do anything dumb. I'd rather have a blank block here than a red block. And then hopefully tomorrow market will be better, have another green block there, and I'll reach my 100K goal for March. But if I take a losing trade, then it's going to set me back a little bit. So that's why for me personally, I'm probably better off just sitting out. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna be moving like next month, guys. So like regardless of the fact, you'll probably see new background for my office over the next month or so. That's why I gotta keep winning. Gotta keep winning and build up this nest egg for me going. All right, so there's nothing here right now. Let's see. We have a smaller range right here. I mean, it's just a bunch of ranges. So if you look over here, if you look closely, guys, this is kind of what's been happening throughout the entire day, yesterday and today. I think this is how the market's just going to be this week. You guys see price kind of dropped a little bit, consolidation, came down a little bit, consolidation, came down a little further, consolidation, came down further right here. Some more consolidation. And this is kind of just what's been happening all throughout the day. Yeah, it's just this is what happened yesterday, and this is what's happening today. It's a kind of repeat process of the market. We don't have a buy signal here, so there's not going to be an MPS V2 setting up. We don't even have any reversal patterns here. So you can see over here, typically we have a lot of V1s, we have a lot of engulfing candles, but we just don't have anything here. Let's see. Sam said there's a lot of news tomorrow. I believe so, right? I remember there is an inflation. Yeah, so tomorrow's CPI news day today. So tomorrow we have all the inflation data for CPI. We have inflation rate month over month at 5:30 pre-market. We have CPI consumer price index at 5:30. We have inflation rate year over year, 5:30, CPI as well, 5:30, core inflation rate, 5:30. So we're gonna have a lot of craziness pre-market. This is usually where people YOLO their accounts. I don't recommend it. I've kind of told you guys about it before. There's ways to pass your eval right away, trading these news events. The problem with these news events is that they're not big spikes. Like what happens is that they become these huge whipsaws. If you look at the market yesterday, was it yesterday? I don't remember if it was yet or Friday. So if you look at the market on Friday, let me go back to Friday real quick. I just want to show you guys. Because before there was a way that you guys can kind of game the system. I kind of showed you guys how to do this, and a lot of people, they got funded right away. You can trade both ways, but look at how this candle came up. So see this green candle right here? This was the NFP data. Usually you can just take a buy or a sell, and then you just let the trade run. The problem with this here is that this thing came down. came down about 100 points and then it shot up about 200 points. So if it triggered your stop loss before it came up, then I mean you're kind of screwed, right? The other thing here too is that it's not necessarily a straight push. Like this thing could have easily pushed up and then came down and then pushed up and came down. And this can easily trigger your trailing drawdown if you're on Apex. So just a heads up. I mean, if you guys want to YOLO it, just like another heads up, if you do want to YOLO it, you can look up the CPI data is coming out tomorrow. There's like basically 4 news events that would cause these big spikes. It's NFP, CPI, PPI, and then one other one, but it doesn't happen as often. So the main 3 are like basically NFP, CPI, and PPI. This is where you're gonna see the biggest spikes. We have a possible buy entry right here, guys, for an MPSV2. Let me see if there's any confluences. I don't see any confluences from the bottom side, so this is not a trade that I would take. There's nothing on market profile. There's nothing on volume profile. We have one small rejection here off the whole number, the 450. And that's about it. So there's no confluences here for a buy. If you guys want to take this, I will mark it up for you guys, but I will not be taking this trade here. There's no confluences for me to take this. So we have a buy signal here, retracement, confirmation on this candle. But again, it's not one that I would personally take because there's no confluences for me to get into this. So right here, there is the entry for the MPSV2. Not one I would personally take, again, like I said, but and the reason why I wouldn't take it is because there's no confluences. I see no rejections right here off the bottom end. Nothing on the 1 minute, nothing on the 30 minute. Yeah, there's like literally no confluences here. So definitely not an entry that I would take. And that's probably a good reason why I didn't take it. So that didn't play through. All right, I think this might be it for the day, guys. I just don't see anything here. I don't see any confluences really coming up today. You can see over here on the 1 minute, unless this market profile adjusts after the next 5 minutes, which it probably will. There's just no confluences right here on the 1 minute. There's nothing here on the 30 minute. Again, unless this here adjusts in the next 5 minutes, this 30-minute candle has about 4 minutes until it closes. Once it closes, these value lows will probably adjust a little lower with the point of control. And then same with the 1 hour over here. You guys can see there's just no rejection points here, so there's nothing to really look at to take. And for me, in order for me to take an entry, I need to have some sort of confluence. I need a lot, actually. I need about like maybe 4 or 5 confluences before I take anything here. So yeah, Siobhan said crazy candle. I'll call it also. Catch you tomorrow. All right, Siobhan, we'll see you back here tomorrow. So guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to reach out and hit me up on Discord. Again, if you guys want to be mentored, a lot of people have been asking me if I'm willing to mentor people. I think I will be willing to mentor people now because we kind of have a strategy in place. So I'm not busy looking for different strategies to kind of apply right now. We're pretty much stable with this MPSV2. I don't think I'm going to move back to any breakouts or really change anything up. I think I'm going to stick to this MPSV2 and I'm just going to be adding confluences to it. So if anybody here wants to be mentored for this specific strategy or just any strategy in general, if you have a strategy that you use and you need some help improving on it, I can help you with that. Just hit me up on Discord. And it looks like I'll probably be doing some one-on-one mentoring for a while. I don't know for how long, but for time being, I think I have more free time because all I'm doing is MPSV2. And I don't have to really look for other strategies to apply right now. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys want to learn the strategy or understand what we're doing here, go to our website, kodikaitrades.com. If you're on the YouTube channel, just scroll down. There's a free education link right there, and you'll have access to this whole course here with all of my strategies. The main strategy we're using here is the momentum pullback scalp V2. It's going to be under module 5, 6.0. Or I have to adjust this. It's going to be module 5, basically the last one right here. And it'll explain to you how the strategy works. But this is pretty much my main focus, and this is probably what I'm going to be using for the rest of the year, unless we have to make some adjustments, which I highly doubt we do. Only adjustments will be like the TP stop loss, and then maybe some of the confluences along the way. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise,